It's tournament time.
It is tourney time.
Did you watch any of the little tournaments? Any of that?
I watched a lot of them. I watched a lot more of the smaller tournaments than I did the bigger tournaments. They were more exciting.
They were.
They were more
I
fun.
had a good time,
Oh,
man.
yeah.
It was almost, like we've talked about before. It's like that step of about high school basketball.
Yeah.
But I mean, I liked all the upsets.
Oh, it
I'm
was
not going to
great.
use the C word tonight. Don't expect me to say the C word tonight. I'm not going to say it. A lot of the upsets at the lower, and it cost some people some seeds,
teams,
man.
It cost them. But there's still some big ones that got in that I don't understand.
Well, I got
Virginia.
my picks. You got your picks?
I got my picks.
All right,
Yep.
come on back in here. We'll talk about them. Let's
That'll
go. And welcome back to the Midnight Riders podcast episode. I don't know. I've lost count.
I don't know.
15, 16.
Yeah,
something like that.
we're getting there.
I'm glad we got that far.
We're getting there. Nobody's kicked us off yet.
Not yet. Have more subscribers would mean people maybe they can start talking smack about us.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a lot of smack to talk about. We're so easy to talk smack about. Welcome. Hey, it's NCAA tournament time. It's a pretty day outside. I got dogs running around, a couple grandkids. So any noise, hey, let it go. Focus right here. Right here. Focus. A lot of good times. Good basketball.
Good basketball. And you got your all your complaining to do and all your
I was a little
why didn't they do this? Why didn't they do this? But
I was a little concerned it wasn't gonna be competitive on the smaller colleges, but boy, I really liked watching those.
Some
games.
of them got in more than I thought they were going to.
I really enjoyed watching the small stuff. The big tournaments, the big conferences, nothing really blew me away. Nothing. I mean, the Kentucky lost, Kansas lost, but they still get.
Houston got blown out, but I don't really think they cared. They knew they were going to get the 1 seed. It didn't really matter.
Well, in our previous cast, that's why I took Iowa State to win that one, simply because I didn't think Houston wasn't going to play anybody and get them hurt.
It didn't surprise me, but it surprised me how bad they got beat. Iowa State beat the hell out of them.
Iowa State's good.
Yeah, they are.
They're good. They're one of those teams that they're pretty deep. Their second line is pretty good. I think they got a shot to go pretty far. We'll get to that here in a minute, but
they better.
The thing about it was, when you look at the seedings and where people ended up, I mean, once again, I don't like the fact that Kansas got in because of who Kansas got, where they got a seed because of who they are.
Sure, they did.
Not because of.
I think they should have been a 6. I had them as a 5 or a 6.
I had them at 5. And they end up.
But
they end up getting them in there and letting them. I mean,
I said we talked right before it, and I had them down. I had them and Duke both as 4s, even though I don't think either one of them deserved a 4. But
no,
there they go.
But you got it right. I mean, you had them. They gave Duke a 3. Duke's a 3. No, are they a 3?
No,
they have 4.
Duke's a 4.
Okay, well,
because they're up there with Kentucky.
That's right. That's Kentucky. See, again, Kentucky. I don't know. I mean,
Kentucky's good though.
They are good, but they've had a few, a few problems here and there toward the end, and I think. Well, you'll know what I feel about it whenever we get into this, but I'm thinking that they may be one of those teams that are a little bit shaky for me right now, and they may not play up to whatever their caliber is. I don't know.
That's what makes some of those the SEC tournament. That's what makes some of those so hard to see because you can't watch If you just watched the Big 12 tournament at the end, you would have thought, well, why is Houston so, thought about? But you got to put some of that stuff aside, just like the SEC tournament. And
Well, I mean, I still didn't see anything over the weekend that didn't tell me that the Big 12 is not the best conference in the country.
Right.
I mean, I still think they're the best.
Yeah.
I mean, head and shoulders, top to bottom. I don't see anybody.
But again, last year and the year before, last year especially, the same thing. But they're so good, but they beat up on each other all year long, and then they don't get through the brackets a lot of the time. So, but we'll see.
Well, it's that's why they play games.
Yep.
It's going to be a fun tournament.
This was going to be good.
Yeah,
This is going to be good.
The parity in the parity in basketball is just there. There's parity, and it's going to show here. Um,
And
so
this
I mean, it's
and this is Tuesday, by the way. The play-in games are going on tonight,
playing
March
games start
19th. So,
tonight, March
yeah,
19th. So we're gonna. I mean, none of I don't think any of the play-in teams are going to win the first.
I didn't have any of them
I
getting
don't have any
past.
of them getting past the play-in game itself. It's not going to hurt my bracket at all. I mean, it's even though there were a handful of teams I thought that could have gotten into this tournament that didn't. Whenever you've got all of these automatic bids and
Yeah,
the number one seeds in the lower divisions don't win, you're kind of stuck with guys not making the tournament. I
right,
mean, that's what I love about this tournament.
right.
Here,
And then,
first of all.
then you go and look at some teams that you made it or get the seeds they got, and you're thinking, what in the world?
Yeah, yeah,
Virginia, Utah State being all had Utah State like at a 5 or 6. Hell, they came in at a 8, I believe.
yeah,
And I
yeah.
don't know. It's
Oh, they left some in. They put some in. I didn't think you'd get that. They left some out that I
right.
think. But in the long run, I don't think anybody got in. The teams that were left out were going to get past the first, second round anyway.
True.
I didn't see anybody that was left out that was going to cause a problem
No,
for anybody.
No, it's just a simple. This is a simple fact of making the tournament.
Sure,
That's all that was.
sure. Well, and then it was. I thought it was pretty funny to what all those guys that got left out said to the NIT. I thought that was great.
Well, you talk about that tournament. It's just gone away. There's no.
Well,
you don't get anything for it. You don't.
Well, that's
It just.
I'm sorry, I gotta lift my chair up here. I always thought the NIT was for the lower division schools, and I think that's what it needs to be for to give them a chance to play. Because a lot of the lower divisions they only get one team in
Right.
because of the tournament, and there's a bunch of good teams down there that don't get in because they'd rather see a 15 win. I don't know, Mississippi State rather than a 22 win team from the WAC. I mean, and that's unfortunate. I mean, a lot of it boils down to ratings, which is why the NIT did what they did this year. Which that's a shame on them.
No.
For those of you that don't know, usually the NIT, if there's a number one seed in a smaller tournament that doesn't make it to the big tournament, they're usually an automatic bid into the NIT. Right. Well, they decided not to do that
this year.
For ratings. They want some of these bigger schools to play in their tournament so they can get the better ratings. So,
but I mean, unless you're an absolute fan of those teams,
sure,
you're not watching the NIT. No. I mean, that's why the OUs in Memphis, they all just said no, we're not going.
I've not watched the NIT even when my teams are in it. It's just a second. They just need. I don't know. Stop doing it. But anyway.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's the preliminary of all the bullshit that we want to talk about. So let's just get right into the tournament. Do you want to put it up here on the board behind it? I mean, on the screen for people to see while we go through this?
Might as well.
All right, well.
We can do that. Start with the East.
Yeah, let's just put up the East bracket. Yep. And there we go, first round games. Looking through my bracket, let's just start at the top. Connecticut. Okay, I don't know what happened.
I don't know.
We look up and everything stopped.
Everything stopped on us.
It's just
Oklahoma wind, Oklahoma weather.
Well,
I guess.
I don't know what happened.
I don't know. We went black.
I'm over here. Move this over here. Well, I probably screwed up. I fucking hit the button or something. I touch stuff. You see my hand. Tina, my wife, she told me quit fidgeting up there. But I had to say, the son of a bitch is sitting right there. I mean, I fidget. And, that's why I'd be a great basketball coach. I refereed high school basketball and junior high basketball for a long time, and I was one of those. I loved watching the coaches, just watching them because they just.
Yeah,
But it was the best part is here I'm off on a tangent already. Best part of it was when you hit one of them with a technical foul in the first quarter. It's great stuff, man. You hit one of them, the other one goes. They shut up immediately. I love that stuff. But anyway, it's time to pick these things up. Like I say, before we hit the buzzer or fuzzer, whoever, whatever.
Something happened.
Okay, here we go. We got her back up here. We can look at the tournament here. We're gonna go first. We're going first round up here. We're just gonna put the first round matches, and then we'll play it all the way to the end. I'm not going to change everything as we go because you're probably going to pick ones that I don't because whatever. Let's go. First game is who's the first game?
UConn Stetson. So
did you take
I'm
Stetson?
gonna go out on a limb and I'm gonna take UConn.
Okay, I'm gonna go UConn too.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. What else? Who's next?
Florida Atlantic, Northwestern. I took Florida Atlantic.
They're so good.
They're again. This is one of those teams. I mean, I had them as a 6 seed.
Well, they're not going to be a top 4 or 5 because they're Florida Atlantic.
Right.
They're playing behind other teams.
And they got a bad. You're sitting in the UConn bracket.
Well, you're
and
sitting
an
in
8 seed.
I mean, if they were sitting in a different bracket and not going, I mean,
no respect at all.
No, I mean you give them that dreaded 8 seed. Every year an 8 seed has to play one of these number 1 powerhouses, and they shouldn't be an 8 seed, but yeah, they're the sacrificial lamb this year. So I got Florida Atlantic though.
Yep, that's what I got.
All right.
San Diego State, UAB. I took San Diego State.
No doubt, San Diego State.
They're good.
Yeah,
they're ones that I've seen. Ones that I've watched, and man,
well, the 5 seed is a good. That's where they need to be.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's right where they.
They're worthy of a 5.
Oh yeah,
they are worthy of a 5.
And I don't see UAB beat. And that'd be a big surprise if UAB beats them. I don't think that's gonna be your.
Yeah,
that's not gonna be one of your 12-5 upsets.
No.
That's not happening. I don't believe.
No, not at all.
Auburn, I took Auburn.
I want to pick
Yale. I know your love for the Ivy League.
I want to pick Yale so bad. I just love it when an Ivy League. I don't know why. I'm weird, but yeah, I got Auburn. Auburn's not that bad.
No, not at all.
I mean, they're not flashy. You don't remember them.
No.
But they keep winning.
Yeah.
They're
another team I think was seated too high, but
yeah, I'm going Auburn.
Yeah. Here's where mine gets a little lopsided for you. BYU Duquesne.
Well, I got BYU.
I got Duquesne. I'm not impressed with BYU.
Well, apparently not. I don't know if you just don't like BYU or you just don't know who Duquesne is because Duquesne is not. I had Duquesne in the tournament. I had them at like a 13
I guess it's more of a not liking BYU more than I think Duquesne's great kind of thing. I think BYU is seated too high in my opinion.
Big 12 country, we've watched them play a lot.
Right.
We've watched them play a lot.
They're not bad, but again, I think they would have been better suited for an 8-9 seed instead of a 6.
I'd agree with that.
I'm just not impressed with them.
I would have, like I said, the sacrificial lamb 8 seed. I think they would have been a good 8 seed.
Yeah, that's what I had them down was an 8.
Yeah, fight to beat a 9 and then get their ass whipped by an 8.
Good enough to make the tournament. Good be in there. Good showing. Right. Way to go. Now go take your beating and move on.
Get out of here.
But that's why I think I don't know. Yeah. I'm mistaken Duquesne.
Okay, well I'm going BYU.
Yep. And
what's next?
Illinois Morehead State.
Well, Illinois is just good. I mean, I'm not a Big Ten guy, but Illinois is just good.
Sure they are.
I'm taking them.
That's why I took Morehead State.
You're an ass. Boy. If you don't, let me see the picture of your heart over there on your bracket because this is all heart picks.
I pick a little bit with that. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, hey, you started with the wrong bracket. You're gonna see my heart here in a minute, but I mean, Morehead's they got a lot of hype. Morehead State's got some hype, man.
Yeah, they do, and then I think I probably fell into it. I give it to you. Watch the bracketology and listen to some people, and a lot of people are not a lot. Some people are on Morehead State and a couple of their players and thinking, you know what, you got to have somebody.
Everybody that watches the NCAA tournament every year, there's going to be one that's everybody's going to go, "What the just happened, man?
Yeah,
what the hell?" And it's they could be a bracket buster. Who knows? What's that? Who's next?
Washington State and Drake. I think that's a tough guy.
I got Drake.
See, I got Washington State. I went back and forth.
I've never the Pac-12 this year hasn't impressed. I mean, Arizona's good.
Mm-hmm.
Arizona's good.
Is above and beyond.
But nobody else has really done anything for me, and so I'm going to stick with Drake on this one. Not if Washington State wins, it's not going to shock me.
No, that's what I said. I went back and forth, but I stuck with Washington State. Though,
okay.
But
no, that's cool. That's cool.
Iowa State, South Dakota State. We both feel the same way about Iowa State.
Iowa State's so good.
They're good.
They're deep. They've got 8-9 guys that are just.
Yeah, I think though.
I mean, I know Houston didn't have a full boat this weekend, but Man,
still to do what you did, to
I
do what
mean,
they did against Houston, even though Houston wasn't. I mean, it's not like Houston played their entire
no,
their final five off the bench, but
but they're just
yeah,
I mean, Iowa State's good. Houston's good. Iowa State's good. So
yeah.
we can go from there. Who you got next?
What do we got here? We've got
That puts us to second round or third round. Yeah.
third round. UConn, San Diego State.
Yeah, I got UConn.
So, yeah. I got UConn coming out.
Yeah, San Diego State's good, but I don't think they can't stay up with UConn.
Yeah, I had.
I don't.
Nah,
Nah.
I had San Diego State beating Auburn, of course.
Oh sure.
Yeah, I got them coming out. I got UConn, San Diego State playing.
Yeah, that's where I got UConn, San Diego State.
I got Duquesne over Morehead State. It's 11-14. You tell me the world's not going to be watching that.
Well, they won't.
And Iowa State.
I got Iowa State beating Illinois.
And
I just think Iowa State's just they're good.
Like I said, I got Iowa. Okay, that next round, UConn, San Diego State. I got UConn.
I got Iowa State.
And
I got Iowa State winning that bracket.
And I hope you're right, but I just
Iowa State.
Yeah.
It could be the homer play being in the Big 12 area and watching them a lot, and I don't like UConn. This is where my heart comes in. I don't want UConn to win. I don't like them.
Oh, I don't either. I hope you're right. I'll take that. I'll take that hit if UConn.
I'm gonna go Iowa State. Yeah. I'm gonna go Iowa State, and I'm gonna be rooting like a son of a bitch to let them if they get that far to just knock out UConn.
Yeah, I got UConn going to the Final Four. So out of that side,
I got Iowa State.
Yeah, I hope you're right.
Yeah.
Where are we going? You want to jump over to the south?
Oh, let's go to the south. Who we got here? Houston and Longwood.
Houston and somebody.
Well,
yeah.
Okay.
Next game.
Nebraska 8, Texas A&M 9.
I took A&M.
I'm taking Nebraska. I don't think A&M should have been in the tournament. They were one of my first outs. They just were.
And I agree they're not that good, but I mean, what did Nebraska do?
Nebraska I understand
back to that Big Ten.
I understand that,
garbage,
but they were my first out, and so I'm bumping them. I got Nebraska and Houston.
Yep.
I got Wisconsin and James Madison.
I took James Madison.
So did I.
Yep.
Wisconsin's another. I'm not a.
You're gonna see a trend.
Yeah,
I'm not a Big Ten fan.
My Big Ten trend is coming. I don't dig them. They weren't. Nope. They don't do much for me. I mean, Wisconsin. I mean, they played well in the tournament.
And watch them.
They had a good tournament, but they weren't.
Watch James Madison. I'm telling you.
I've watched actually a couple of their games this year. They are good.
I know the competition isn't what it is, but man, they're good.
They're a good.
They can shoot.
They're a good team.
Yeah.
They are a good team. Yeah. And I think they're going to beat them.
Yeah, I do too.
So
I got them down.
Vermont and Duke.
Duke and Vermont. I hate to do it, but I took Duke.
I took Vermont.
Hell yeah.
Because this is another heart play.
That's a heart pick all the way.
But Duke's in a little bit of a shambles right now. They're not, when your coach comes out and apologizes to the fans, that's a problem.
Yeah, and they're another one. Like I said, they shouldn't have been a 4 seed.
That's no
way. They were a 4 seed because they're Duke.
They're a 6 or 7 in my book.
I had them as a 6.
I think Vermont might be that team that surprises people simply because not because Vermont's any good, because Duke is just on a spiral right now. They just don't. I think there's something wrong here.
Well, they're going to go after them. If they lose the first round to Vermont, they're going to go after them.
Oh yeah.
I'll be sitting back watching.
So I got Vermont. Let's go Texas Tech, North Carolina State.
Man, I took North Carolina State. I think they're at North Carolina State. That should have been higher.
I think they didn't win. What they win? 15 games all year.
Tech. I don't know. Look at the record. Tech's not bad, but they are so up and down.
I think
I
think North Carolina State's blown everything they've got. I think it took everything they had to get through that term, and they played lights out. Hey, I'll give it to them, man. They played lights out.
And again, I'm more of against the Texas Tech thing just because they were so inconsistent and so.
Well, I hear you, and see that's kind of where I didn't pick Texas Tech. I picked against North Carolina State.
Yeah,
I think North Carolina State. I think they shot everything they got.
I think they're the same thing as with North Carolina State.
Kentucky, Oakland.
I took Kentucky.
I didn't know there was a college in Oakland, so I'm going Kentucky. Florida and the play-in. I got Florida.
I took the play-in team on there.
Really?
Yeah, I'm thinking Colorado. I'm thinking Colorado will be
Really?
Toysy, and I think Colorado will jump up and get Florida.
I don't know, man. Florida's decent. The Colorado again. They were one that I didn't have in the tournament. I had them. I had them off the bubble as well.
Yeah, see, I had them in.
Boise, I did. I kind of thought they'd let them in.
Unless they play on a blue court, I don't watch them.
Yeah, I kind of thought they would let them in, and they're right. I figured they'd be in a playing game,
Yeah.
and that's where they are.
Yeah. I think that's kind of my one surprise on the play-ins. I think Colorado wins, and I think they get Florida.
Well, again, the Colorado thing is probably part of my bias, and I just didn't like the Pac-12 this year.
Yeah.
And so,
well,
hey, I hope you're right. I really do. I'm not a Florida guy. I'm not an ACC guy. That's fine with me.
Yeah.
Then you got Marquette and Western Kentucky.
I got Marquette. Marquette's good.
Marquette's really, really good.
Marquette's tough.
They earned that 2 seed. They earned it. They are that good.
Yeah.
So let's go back up the top. I got Houston, Nebraska.
I got Houston A&M, but I got Houston winning.
Okay. You got Houston winning. Okay. I got Houston beating Nebraska.
Yeah.
You got Madison or Vermont?
Duke. I got Madison. I got Madison beating Duke.
Oh, that's right. I got Vermont.
Yep.
I got Madison beating Vermont. I mean, I got Madison getting there and playing Houston.
Yep, I do too.
You got NC State and Kentucky. I got Tech and Kentucky. Who do you got?
I got Kentucky.
I got Texas Tech. I mean, Kentucky's. I mean, I'll listen to the smart people say Kentucky's just they had a bad tournament. They weren't ready. They're blah blah blah. They're this. They're that. They're the other. They're going to still give them a 3 seed because they're Kentucky. They still think they're the greatest team. Never,
Well, there's
something wrong if they. I got Texas Tech simply because I don't think Kentucky's. I think Kentucky's another Duke. They're not. They're not clicking.
No, I agree.
They're not clicking.
But there's always at least one team in the tournament every year that pisses me off.
That would be them.
And this is going to be Kentucky. If it's not Duke, it's Kentucky or one of them. So that's going to be my team for that.
Can't argue with you.
Uh-huh.
Florida, and I got Florida Marquette. You got Colorado Marquette.
Yep, I got Marquette.
Okay, I got Marquette beating Florida too.
Yep.
I mean, if I get Florida win, they're going to win 1 game in my book. So
yeah.
All right, we both have Houston and James Madison.
Yeah, I got Houston.
Oh yeah, I got
Houston's going, man. If they're full strength,
you got to take them.
You got to take Houston.
They're unreal.
I think Madison makes a good little run, but I think
it
dies.
That's where it ends. Texas Tech. I got Tech and Marquette. You got Kentucky and Marquette.
I got Kentucky.
Really?
Yep.
Well, I
don't like it.
I got Marquette beating Texas Tech at that point. I got Houston and Marquette in the final with Houston going.
Yeah, but I got Houston going. I got Houston also.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, that's fair.
Yeah.
All right, let's move over to the West.
North Carolina against it really don't matter. I took North Carolina.
Well, I took the Howard. I don't know. The Bison. I think they're the Bison. Howard Bison. I mean, no, North Carolina all the way. North Carolina's good.
Yep.
Unfortunately, they're good.
Yep. Mississippi State, Michigan State. I took Michigan State.
I did too. I think
Izzo.
Big Ten. I should have said no, but I like Izzo.
Izzo in the tournaments.
He always gets them ready.
Yep.
Always gets them ready.
Yep.
So Michigan State.
Here's one of my big ones though. I got Grand Canyon beating St. Mary's.
Why?
Oh man, I went back because the people were talking about them. So I thought, all right, I gotta go see. I gotta go watch it. Holy mother, they're fast. They're good. They're athletic. They got 2 guys that should have been major college. I don't know if there was issues or not, but they didn't have any business going to Grand Canyon. Basically,
I'm not gonna be shocked if they. I mean, St. Mary's is who they are. St. Mary's is just who they are. They play well. They play steady. They play strong. They play up to their competition, but sometimes they play down to their competition.
Right, and that's kind of what I'm thinking.
I think. I mean, I got St. Mary's winning. I don't know anything about Grand Canyon.
I didn't
why I didn't pick them.
That's why I had to go back and look at some stuff people were talking about. I thought, man, I got to go at least watch some of it.
Maybe you got it. All right. I got Alabama over Charleston.
Yeah, I got Alabama.
Yeah.
Not a fan of Alabama. I don't think that's another one. I don't think they deserved a 4 seed. But I got them.
No. Clemson, New Mexico.
I took New Mexico.
I got Clemson.
Yeah,
I did watch a couple of Clemson games this year. They were decent enough. I haven't watched anything on New Mexico.
Yep.
It was a shocker, quote unquote, that they won their tournament. That's enough for me to say pick Clemson.
Yeah, no, so, I don't know.
I got Baylor just destroying Colgate.
Baylor. Yeah,
they're really good.
Yeah, I got Baylor over Colgate.
Nevada and Dayton.
I took Nevada.
So did I. I think Nevada's a decent team.
Yeah, they're not
Dayton.
Bad.
I had Dayton as a bubble. I had them getting in.
Yep, I think I had Dayton like at a 10 or 11 seed.
Yeah, but see, I had them getting in as a play-in team, but they gave them a 7 seed.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I'm going Nevada.
Yep.
And then Arizona, Long Beach. I mean, Arizona's.
Arizona's tough.
I bite at the Pac-12, but Arizona's really good.
Arizona's a different animal.
They're really good. So
yeah, they're a different animal.
So let's move up. I got North Carolina, Michigan State, as do you. What do you think?
Man, I almost went Michigan State. But I went ahead and went North Carolina.
I didn't even think about this. Yeah. North Carolina's better than Michigan State.
They are
better.
But Tom Izzo.
I know, but
I took North Carolina.
Tom Izzo's really, really good, and he's even better when he has great players. He doesn't have any great players this year. He's got good players. He's got serviceable players. He's got team players. They're not great players. You got Grand Canyon and Alabama.
I took Grand Canyon. I hate Alabama.
Jesus, you have really, really, really. He's lost his friggin' mind.
When Grand Canyon is playing North Carolina, we'll have a conversation.
Okay, I got St. Mary's, so we'll get there in a minute. Jesus, Clemson and Baylor. Or you had New Mexico.
I had New Mexico and Baylor. I got Baylor winning that.
I got Clemson.
Baylor's
no, I got Baylor. I got Baylor. Baylor's just really, really good. And Nevada, Arizona.
Arizona.
I
hate that Baylor got that 3 seed on Arizona.
Yeah, I do too. Arizona's really, really good. So. All right, so we go to North Carolina and St. Mary's for me, which is where the common sense people are on this side of the table. I'm going to go North Carolina. I don't like North Carolina. I will make a statement. North Carolina is not one of my favorite, but I don't like them for any way, shape, form, or fashion. But I'm picking them in this particular game. You got Carolina and Grand Canyon.
I got Carolina.
Yeah. You better.
Yeah. You got to have a run.
Somebody's going to get you out of that chair and
somebody's going to have to
let Henry sit over there if you're going to pick them.
Can't go fucking 1-4 every damn bracket.
Yeah, well, okay. So you got North Carolina. I got Baylor, Arizona.
Man, I took Arizona. I'd like to see Baylor pop up and get them, but I just don't. I think Arizona's too strong.
If they were playing anywhere near Texas, I would go Baylor.
They're out the West.
They're playing out of the West, and so I'm going to go with Arizona.
That's what I'm saying. Baylor got a bad draw on it, but yeah.
Arizona, North Carolina.
I took Arizona.
So did I.
I got Arizona in the Final Four.
North Carolina finally loses. Thank God. Arizona beats them, and they go in to face Iowa State in my bracket. So
see, I got them playing out UConn. So
okay.
Midwest.
Well, let's head over to the Midwest bracket where we have Purdue against whoever.
Yeah. Again, I don't. Purdue.
Utah State and TCU.
I took Utah State.
I did too. TCU shouldn't be in this tournament. If OU's not in this tournament, TCU shouldn't be in this tournament.
And Utah State, I think they got. I had them as a 5 or 6. I had them.
They got job
up higher. Yeah,
they got job. They're one of those teams. They're kind of a little bit like the Florida Atlantic pick, where they shouldn't have been an 8 and had to play a 1. They should have been a 5 or a 6 or
right.
I mean, I'll even make them a 7.
6 or 7.
They had a great year for. They got hosed on this.
Yeah,
deal.
They're good.
So I got Utah State winning.
Yep.
The Zags, Gonzaga and McNeese State.
See, I think Gonzaga is way overhyped here because of their name. I took McNeese.
I think they're overrated. I don't think they deserved the 5 seed. I think they're at least an 8, if not a 9. But I still think they'd beat McNeese State. They're still better than the McNeese State. McNeese State's
that's more of that's more of one of my against Gonzaga things.
Yeah,
I don't think they deserve to be where they're at.
I mean, McNeese State had a good year.
McNeese isn't going to be scared of this Gonzaga team, so they'll come in and go.
So, Kansas and Samford.
Yes, Samford.
I almost went
there.
Hell
yes,
because
Kansas is going to do what they do.
Kansas is primed for another ass whipping in the first round. It's happened to them before.
Often they're going to do what they do.
I think they win. I think
you got them winning.
I think I got them winning. It's going to be close, but had that been a different team besides Samford, somebody that's got a little bit of pop to them, like a Grand Canyon or one of those who's got a little bit something working for them.
Sanford's a high scoring team.
They are, but I just don't. I don't think they're
they're going to
athletically. I don't think they're good enough.
They shouldn't be, but Kansas. I just got a feeling Kansas shouldn't have been a 4 seed.
No, they should have been a 6.
And you got that Kansas hype, and the Kansas choke is coming.
South Carolina and Oregon.
I went back and forth. I took Oregon. I went back and forth on it.
They got Bo Nix at quarterback.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
Dylan Gabriel. Sorry. Dylan Gabriel's there now.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah,
I'm going Oregon.
Yeah.
South Carolina does.
You talk shit and you still took them.
Well, South Carolina, they shouldn't be a 6.
No. Why the SEC?
They're an 8 or a 10 at best.
I know why they got preference.
I wouldn't have been shocked if Oregon was the 6 and South Carolina was the 11.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have shocked me.
No.
So I got Oregon.
Yeah, I took Oregon as well.
Creighton and Akron.
I like Creighton.
I got Creighton big time.
Creighton.
I like Creighton as well. Texas against a play-in team. Why they get a play-in team, I don't know.
I don't know, but I took Texas.
Well, I think Colorado State or Virginia could both beat Texas, depending on which Texas team shows up.
Mm-hmm. They got that same Texas Tech factor I was talking about. They're inconsistent as hell, but
exactly.
I think where they're slated with the teams they got, I got them. I got them winning.
I got them winning. Tennessee and St. Peter's.
I took Tennessee.
Well, I took them. I mean, I don't think Tennessee deserved that 2 the way they went out. I think they should have been a 3.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, it is what it is. So, you got Purdue and
yeah, I got Purdue, Utah State, and I got Purdue beating.
No. Yeah, Purdue, Utah State. That's right.
Yep, I got Purdue winning.
I as well. Purdue, they'll beat Utah State.
Yeah.
Gonzaga and Kansas is what I've got. You got McNeese
and then Samford.
So you always pick 2. Yeah. You pick 2 underdogs to play each other every bracket, so it looks cool. Right. I guess I don't know.
That way I look like a damn genius.
Yeah, right. I got Gonzaga beating Kansas. Who do you got?
I got Samford. I got Samford playing Purdue.
Well, that'll be a fun game.
Yeah, I will.
I'll watch it. Purdue. Well, of course you will, but they'll be down by 60 points at half. Oh no, Purdue chokes it off all the time. Unless
their men's team gets Caitlin Clark to come play.
No, they're good. They should have. I'll tell you that Purdue should have went. Purdue had a shot to win it last year.
Yeah, I know they're good.
They're really good.
Just not.
And yeah,
they're another one that tends to choke things off at times.
They do, but I got Gonzaga beating Kansas. You got who? McNeese.
I got Samford beating. I got Samford and Purdue playing.
Okay, well, whatever. Yeah, that's
exactly
crazy. I got Creighton beating Oregon.
No, I do too.
Yep. Creighton's really good. They really are.
Yeah.
And I got Tennessee beating Texas.
I do too. I also got Tennessee.
Yeah.
Just because, again, Texas is.
Sure.
I just don't think they're good enough to win.
No,
they're not good enough to win 2 games.
I say they could lose the play-in game. Right. I mean, the game to the play-in.
That wouldn't surprise me at all.
It just depends on who shows up. So, I got Creighton beating Tennessee.
I do too.
Really?
I got Creighton beating Tennessee, and I got Creighton playing Purdue.
I got Creighton beating Purdue.
I do too. We got the same Final Four. Are you serious?
Wow. I got Creighton in Houston, Arizona, and Iowa State.
I got. You got what?
Creighton playing Houston.
Right.
Iowa State playing Arizona.
Okay. No, I don't have Iowa State.
Who do you got?
I got UConn and Arizona.
Okay.
I got UConn over Arizona.
I got Arizona beating Iowa State.
Yeah. I'd rather watch that than what I got picked. But
and then I got Houston beating Arizona.
I got Houston beating Creighton, and I got UConn winning it all.
Oh, UConn?
Yeah. Yep. I don't like it, but
you think they're that bad? You think they're better than Houston?
Yeah, I do.
In what aspect?
I do.
I mean, I don't see it. I mean,
I hope I'm wrong.
Well, the thing about it is if Houston's 100%, I don't think UConn can be. I mean, hell, that's why
got so many injuries and so many issues.
This tournament is why I don't gamble anymore.
Oh yeah, I'd be screwed.
But I mean, because I sit here and want to tell you that I'm not going to miss a game.
Yeah.
I can't even pick them like this, much less with lines.
Yeah, no.
But anyway, I mean, if Houston is as good as if
they're total full strength whole tournament, yeah, I think they win it. But they've had so many injury issues and problems. I don't know if they can stay healthy through the whole tournament.
That's true. That's very
That's
true.
my concern.
Well, the thing about it is though, I think Houston's got an easier road than
Yes.
UConn.
Yes.
Even if the tournament is all chalk, I mean, I still think Houston. I mean that they can beat Nebraska, they can beat Duke.
Well, they got Marquette as the 2 seed, and
And they can beat
UConn's got to
Marquette.
go through Iowa State.
Right.
I think Iowa State is a much tougher
Right.
out than Marquette.
Well, whew, excuse me. I think, in all honesty, if Illinois were to come out of the bottom part of the East and end up with UConn in the finals in the East, I think Illinois can beat UConn if they play well on a good night.
I don't know.
Of course, this is probably my
Maybe
bias on that. I just don't like UConn.
And I haven't seen Illinois. I can't stand UConn,
Right.
but man, you can't.
I know.
You can't just knock what the hell they've done. They're
I know.
so good.
They are.
Unfortunately.
They're really, really good.
But yeah.
Yeah, well, Houston's really, really good.
Oh man.
I mean, Arizona's really, really good.
I hope so for Kelvin Sampson, for the Big 12, for the. I would love to see Houston. I would love to see them win it.
Yeah.
But
well, and that's something else I got to looking at. With the Big 12 and their merge or their addition
Right.
next year. Next year they're going to have. I mean, look at the Big 12. If this was next year, I mean, you got all the Big 12 teams that are in there now. Then you add Colorado.
mm-hmm.
Then you add Arizona, and you add Arizona State, and you add Utah. Who, I mean, my gosh, they're going to be a good basketball.
Oh, they're going to be a
conference
strong.
moving forward.
I mean, you imagine conference games with it's just like it's just like OU and Texas going to the SEC. You're talking conference games with OU, Alabama, and Texas, and in Texas LSU, your basketball, you're going to have Arizona playing Kansas. You're going to have as a regular season game. Man, it's going to be fun to watch.
It's going to be interesting. It's going to be everybody wants to talk about all the football that's going on, but man, if you take a step back and you look at this basketball stuff, I mean, with even with USC and UCLA moving, and Washington and Oregon moving to the Big Ten, I mean, there's 2 or 3 pretty good basketball programs there.
Good.
I mean, now how they're going to do it logistically, flying back and forth that much during the basketball season, that's going to be insanely hard.
That's going to be hard.
It's going to be these kids are going to get worn out just traveling.
But I mean, what are you going to do when you got Rutgers playing USC?
Well, maybe they'll meet at Oklahoma City.
Yeah,
and play
exactly.
Game,
meet halfway. Meet at Notre Dame and go play.
I don't know why they wouldn't. It's gonna take some learning for them to get around. But
it's gonna be good. But
anyway, what do we have any results of any of the play-ins yet tonight? Have you seen anything on there? I hadn't even really paid attention.
Let's see what's going on.
Let's see NCAA basketball. Everybody, grab your phone real quick. Let's see what's going on. I don't show any scores.
Let's see. Hey, the NIT's going.
Jeez.
Wagner beat Howard.
Oh, boom, 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 boom.
And
Wagner beat Howard. So that means North Carolina will play Wagner. Well, I'm going to change my bracket.
Well, you already thought Howard had a shot.
I did. Because they're the Bison.
You got
Bison.
Colorado State and Virginia is about to tip off.
Okay. Well,
everything else is NIT.
Yeah, well, and like I say, it's going to be an entertaining tournament. It really is. I mean, it fires up Thursday, and I tell you what, it's going to be fun to watch. I think the parity in basketball. I mean, your top 4 teams, I think, are pretty damn strong. North Carolina, UConn, Houston, Purdue, but your number 2s are pretty strong. You got Iowa State, you got Arizona. Tennessee shouldn't be a number 2. I think Creighton should have been the other number 2.
Yeah,
and Marquette. I mean, you've got those top 8 are pretty freaking solid.
I picked quite a few upsets or whatever, but
sure.
When it all boils down to it, I got 2 number 1s, a 2 and a 3. I mean, I think those guys are above. And
I got a 1, a 2, a 2, and a 3.
Yeah, I just think when it all boils down and you get to that point, I think they're just.
But I got Creighton, who's in the Final Four, but they're sitting at a 3, but they should have been a 2.
No, man, they should have
been a 2.
Yeah.
They're that
Creighton's
damn good.
Creighton's good.
So, but anywho, that's kind of where we're at. That's where it's going to look at. That is the tourney.
Yep.
Now, for you folks watching this, it's like a little baseball. This Saturday, we're going to be recording our preseason baseball show. Got a couple of guests coming in here to visit with us. Got a youngster coming in and someone a little around our age, I guess.
Yeah.
We're bringing in a couple more brains in here because ours just aren't enough. Yeah. So come on in. We'll hopefully have that posted up on maybe by Sunday. Get it up there on the air so you guys can check it out for our baseball preseason, which starts next week.
Yep. Please spread the word.
Yep. So this Saturday we're going to be doing that show. We'll get it up. Then the week after that we're going to be doing a WrestleMania preview. Have some guests to help us do that as well. So we're going to get bigger and better and keep moving on. We do want you to subscribe and like and comment. And
please comment. Give us some ideas. Give us some thoughts. What you think about it. Even if you don't like us.
No, you got to love us, though. Yeah. Why the fuck wouldn't you love us?
That's true. But if you don't, go ahead and put it in there anyway. That way we can talk shit about. We'll talk shit about you when we get.
That is right. If you make a comment, we'll talk about you behind your back, and then we'll come on here and say we really appreciate
you liking and following.
That's probably not a good idea.
Whatever. Once we get more followers, we'll start.
I got a new microphone. Does that matter?
Yeah, it's got cool.
It's got colors on it and shit.
No.
Thanks for coming by, NCAA. We'll see you next time for some baseball, and then we'll talk about some NBA. They're getting ready to get there too. So hang tight. We'll talk to you next time.
See you later.